Hi everyone, welcome back to our full transit conversion series.
So in one of our last videos we fitted this bonded window to the side of the van. Unfortunately it was leaking quite a lot at the top afterwards.
Yeah, so we're going to show you what we did to fix it, and happily we can now say it's leak free.
So we've got some of this Captain Tolley stuff which we're hoping is going to fix the small leak we've got in the window. Just found this online, googling around, people seem to think it's pretty good. So it should work in theory if the cracks are less than 0.8 millimeters wide. Which we don't know obviously, but we're hoping. And basically it's just like a liquid, we can pour in there, wait half an hour and it just goes through the little cracks and then forms a sealant through the cracks. So it's like water basically, we just put it in. And as long as the hole's not too big, it should seal it up. We've had to wait until today because it's not raining, and it's not going to rain hopefully for a couple of days now. It does just feel like I'm pouring milk into the van. I think that's it.
Let's go and have a look on the inside.
See if it's dribbling down.
Okay, so can't see any that's come through, so taking that as a good sign.
So you can see it coming through now, so I think Abby probably has put on a little bit more than I did, which is probably better. So I'm just going to wipe this off, but yeah, you can see not too much, so that's obviously the points where there's a little bit of a gap. Yeah, hopefully that will now seal those bits up. So Abby's outside with the hose, and probably should close this. Okay, there's one dribble coming out there, and here, okay, stop. So, unfortunately, the window is still leaking a little bit on the top, basically. The sides are okay, the bottom is pretty much okay. There is like one point where if you really square it up, it's coming through. But we were hoping that it was a small enough crack that when we get the Captain Tolley stuff going in, it will fix it. But it doesn't seem like that's the case. No. So,
it doesn't surprise me, to be honest, because of the conditions that we were putting the adhesive on in the first place.
Yeah. We're
not ideal at all.
So
yeah.
We're probably going to have to take the window off, clean it down and redo it again, but this time better conditions.
Yeah.
And hopefully it'll be good. It looks good though.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll still look good for the second time it's up there. Hopefully it's going to come out cleanly and we're not going to break the window, which we're a little bit worried about. We did toy with the idea of backfilling some sealant around the top, just in the top edge there, but chat to a couple of people about that. Don't think that's a good idea, just because we know that the bead going around it is probably not the best.
Alright, so this is what we've got to try and take the window off. It's just like a crafting knife really, but it extends quite far and it's quite thin. And we've just got some old tester beads that we did from when we did the windows before. So this is essentially what we're going for. So we can actually get through that quite easily without too much force. And then it says you can use like a couple of mils of the remaining bead that's either left on the van or on the glass. Obviously we're not experts in this, we don't, we're just going by what the best research that we found on the internet. So if this doesn't work, then we're just going to take it to someone and get them to do it, but hopefully it'll work. Alright, here goes. It's a bit harder than doing it on cardboard, because you're trying to bend the blade a bit to get it in.
Okay, so we've been going around now, we've tried a whole load of different knives, and I think what we've decided is the bog standard Stanley knife is actually the best. It's a little bit tricky because the blade isn't quite long enough to get all the way through, but it's definitely piercing through most of it, and then we're going outside and you can feel it starting to loosen, so we're just going to carry on going like this all the way around, and hopefully it will actually come out. Otherwise we're going to be left with some weird state where it's like not really in, not really out.
Unfortunately the knife worked a little bit but not enough. We couldn't get through the bead all the way. It worked at the top and bottom, we think, but on the sides it was just impossible to get to, particularly on this side here, because the bead is more towards this edge rather than in there. So we think we've got through in some places, but not all. So we've got some cheese wire. So hopefully we'll just shimmy it round gently, and that will just help it to come off.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
So it's starting to work. A little bit slow, but we're getting the technique at the moment. So we're just kind of doing it to me to you kind of thing down, and we're mainly cutting on the downstroke. But we got a bit paranoid, didn't we, Abby? So what we have done is we've rigged up a kind of pulley thing with a couple of bungees around the roof of the van through the open window. Fortunately, it's an opening window. So hopefully, the theory is if we do get it out and we can't quite catch it, it will hold it in place and not smash. What do you reckon? It's going to take a little bit of time, but at least it's a nice sunny and warm day actually today. It's really nice. It was going really quite well at the start, and then we went through a period where it just wasn't going at all because we didn't take the trim off, which we realised was a rookie mistake.
Well, we thought we wouldn't be able to because we thought it would be wedged in with the adhesive. So.
Yeah, so we've basically been cutting through the trim a little bit, which is, I mean, a little bit annoying, but it's going to be on the side that you're not going to see at least. So once we took that off, it just starts going through again quite cleanly, and we were going straight down. So you live and learn, don't you? If you ever need to take off a window again in the future, you'll know how it works. I think, Abby, would you say we are past the point of
Yeah,
we can't stop now. It's a very flabby window.
It's off on all three sides.
Just that corner and this top corner, I think, and then we're good. And then we've got to fix it, put it back in again. Would you do this again, Abby?
No. I don't advise anyone to do this.
Well, putting it in
if they want to keep their sanity, yeah. I mean, if you do everything perfectly, it's fine.
It's the taking it out and putting it back in that's the hard part.
Yeah. If there's any problems at all, it's a bit of a nightmare.
All right, let's get it out. Okay, finally got the window out. That was a lot of work. Do not ever want to have to do that again. For some reason, just this corner up here just did not want to come at all, was not coming. Got everything else off. I was literally hanging on at this corner for ages, just wouldn't come. I think if you were doing a smaller window, it wouldn't be so bad, but this one, really, really hard to get all the way around here.
Gonna go and see the sheep and the lambs that are in the field. It's quite intimidating from this angle. Some of them will be about a month old now.
And in a year or so, be as big as you. So we had to tape up the hole with plastic overnight. It's got a little bit late again, raining, so obviously. But it's okay at the moment, so we're going to just go through and clean up this window now. So we're hoping that this is going to come off fairly easily with a razor blade. Take off the old adhesive. It does actually say you don't have to take it all the way off, but in our case, because the sealant isn't very good, we probably will. It's almost insulting how easily it's coming off now we've got it out. It's ridiculous. So you can see the sealant bead coming along, and you can see how inconsistent it was our first job, and like bits like here, I mean there's probably a gap coming in there, and this is where possibly there's some water coming down. And here as well, you can see that looks like the white from the Captain Tolleys. So I think it's a good decision that we've made to take it off and redo it. I think we'll be a lot happier. Okay, the window is clean again, ready to go. Now we just got to do the same for the van. Yeah, it actually came up really nice. Just needed a razor to get rid of the urethane, and then we just used a scourer and a bit of elbow grease and some glass cleaner to just get it really far down. And Abby's just about to start attacking the van. She looks a little nervous, holding a Stanley knife flat against the side of the van.
So we've got rid of most of the primer now, apart from this little corner here. So we're just going to focus on getting rid of that today, and then going to clean it all up, and then just paint it and get it back to how it started before we can put the window back on. Alright, so that's all the primer put on. So now we're just going to spray paint it. Really hope this is the last time we can say that the window's going to go in.
I mean, it has only gone in once.
I know, but it just feels like this whole thing has taken a long time.
It has taken a long time. We could put the window back in now really, but because we freshly painted it, we just want to wait for the paint to harden properly before we actually put it on. We just don't want to have anything going wrong.
Any mistakes or do anything wrong to you know, ruin it again.
Nope.
So.
Put new pins everywhere, and now basically we're going to go along and re-stick them back up. This time we've left the pins in overnight. We've really cleaned underneath them. We've pushed them in really hard, held them for a few seconds, and yeah, left them for a long time now just with no weight on them at all, and we've used more pins.
This better be the last time that we put these things up. I've been so tired of just having them just lying around. I've been kicking them by accident and stuff.
They do take up a lot of space.
Very irritating.
It's starting to look like a camper van again a little bit, like we've actually done something. Ow.
Head down, there it is.
We got some longer pins the second time round, which I wasn't expecting, so I just stood up to push one of these in and it went straight through my head.
You weren't a happy bunny, were you?
And on the sliding door, I got all these pins on the sliding door, and I opened it and forgot that they're actually quite long, and it started scratching the side of the van.
You Wally.
This is the one that obviously hit the van, look.
Oh dear. Never mind. We're just going to make doubly sure that they don't fall down by just putting some aluminium tape just along here and along there and everywhere probably. Cover it all so they don't fall down again. This is like the forbidden Kit Kat. I really want to break this seal, but I can't.
So today's the day we're finally, hopefully, going to put the window back in again.
Yeah.
Get this plastic off.
Been waiting a while for us to do this.
Yeah, we waited about just over 2 weeks just to give the paint time to
Properly
cure
dry
underneath and start to harden. So hopefully it will all be good. We just want to do everything that we can to not have a problem again.
Seem to be having too many problems, don't we?
So we'll see. So we're just giving it a very light sand, really light really, with some 1200 grit paper, and it's really smooth now, so pretty happy with that. Feeling confident, Abby?
Probably shouldn't answer that question. No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
I think we're a little bit nervous about putting this in. We compared it earlier to the feeling when you're about to do an exam and you can't really do anything. You just got to get it done and then you can relax afterwards. Just got to do it. But we had we had a bit of spotty rain earlier, so we had to wait again for another couple of hours, so delayed it a little bit. But now the sun is coming out again. It's much better condition still than when we first put it in, so we're hoping that it's going to be fine for the next 45 minutes, hour or so, however long it takes to get it in. It's the last moment to use the window as a door. Could be kind of convenient. Should we keep it?
No.
I think it's probably done about a minute.
Yeah, probably. There we go.
Good shake. When we put this in last time, it was cold, it was cloudy, and we were worried it was going to start raining, which is why we had to kind of rush at the end, which is almost certainly why we made a mistake. We just couldn't get the sealant out of the tube.
Yeah.
This time, it's a lot warmer. We did warm the sealant last time, but this time we've actually had it in the airing cupboard for a few days or something. Now we've got a window, literally. We've got a window.
Hopefully before that cloud.
We've got a window of
comes over.
opportunity to put in the window. Yeah.
Amen.
So we're going to get on with it. Ready?
I think so.
It's prime time.
I don't want to.
So having said that, we're just about to start putting the primer on, and we just noticed a big ominous looking black cloud coming over the top, so we're not sure. We might wait it out. We're literally at the point where if we start going, we are going to have to keep going, put it in, and we do not really want the rain cloud, if it is one, to come and rain all over our parade. So very frustrating. We might just wait it out. The primer bottle is open. Okay, brief intermission. It actually started raining. The sun just disappeared. Drops of rain. It's not a lot. It's not a lot, but it's, you know, dripping, drizzling while we were still putting the primer on. So we've had to put the window in the van. The window's done. We're half done on the van, so we're just going to basically have to wait. Luckily, the primer's not the most important part. If we'd already put the adhesive on, that needs to go on quickly, or it's going to set. The primer, we just got to wait for it to dry. So if you could keep the rain off the van, it'd be a lot easier, a lot quicker building. Generally, everything.
Don't live in England.
Chickens are happy though. Right, the cloud has passed. Blue sky is back. We are carrying on. Okay, so all the primer is now on. Now we're just going to wait 15 minutes for that to dry. We've done 2 bands. You only really need to do 1, but you need to make sure the adhesive on the window and the thing lines up. And just because of how thin this is, we thought it was just easier just to put on an extra band, and yeah, we don't have to worry about it because here it's so thin. And last time we put this on, we saw in places where it hadn't quite lined up and was a little bit weak in those spots. So hopefully now it's a nice wide band that we can go all the way around. And that's it. So, got sealant in the corking gun. This is the gun we used last time, which has worked fine for all of the Sikaflex and things like that, but we found when using it on this polyurethane stuff for the window, it's just not strong enough, not powerful enough. So when we were going in, it was just really hard work. I have actually warmed the gun now, but to get a good bead, so it's quite hard to press this out. And what happened last time is that my hand was shaking so much because it was so hard, I couldn't get a consistent bead around, which is almost certainly why we ended up having leaks at the top. So, got a different gun. And then I can just basically just squeeze it out, and it's really easy actually. I don't want to waste too much because I think there'll only be enough to pretty much get around the window and then we're done. But yeah, that's what you're looking for, is a nice little triangle valley shape going all the way around in one consistent bead. So, just got to do that now. tube has literally run out there. So you get on first.
That's it. And it's just started to rain. Just after we got it on.
It's in again. Just giving it a big push all around, every corner, pressing it in, which is hard because my hand is aching so much from.
Hopefully this is the last time. It's quite an impressive shot though, against the black cloud. The weather has not been our friend today.
At least we don't have to cover the hole.
I don't believe it. I do not.
So, back on again. Attach the bungees again just to give it a bit of tension and pull it in overnight, hopefully. And celebrating with a bit. So this time I think we've got it and it looks pretty neat.
Fingers crossed. Touch wood.
Yep.
Wood.
There's no wood.
There.
A little bit of wood. Touch wood.
Alright, so it's time for the water test. Fingers crossed. Hello.
Hello.
Are we ready for this?
Not with the window open, we're not.
Well, okay, once I've closed it.
I think it will leak for sure.
My heart is thumping.
Anything coming through?
Not yet!
Really?
I say not yet. That's so pessimistic, isn't it? I think we're good.
Amazing.
My heart is pumping so much.
Well, took a bit of effort. We got there.
I've kind of been dreading doing this for obvious reasons. This has been a bit traumatic for me. Well, stupidly traumatic.
It's been about a 2 or 3 week detour, hasn't it?
Yeah.
When we first put it in.
Or even a bit longer, yeah. Yeah.
But it's done, it's in, and hopefully not coming out.
Yeah.
Okay, we are done. All 3 windows are now in and none of them are leaking. It's looking really good.
Yeah.
It's actually looking like a camper van now, which is awesome. But yeah, we're done.
If you enjoyed this video, give us a like and subscribe below. We'll see you next time.